do you have a better idea?
Yes, I do.
Sonic wiggled about in the soft, spacious yet tight and muscular belly of Shadow. He couldn't help but sigh. At least he tried, but he couldn't help but grin. Shadow had been a good opponent, and was claiming the spoils of his victory. At least Sonic found solace in this way of going. He'd become part of something stronger than himself. Shadow's hand rubbed over his swelling girth as more of Sonic piled into it. He removed Sonic's shoes promptly, his socks right afterwards. With a shove on his feet and another swallow, Sonic had slid in up to his ankles. Only the very feet he was so famous for remaining outside of Sonic's... Jesus. Only the very feet he was so famous for remaining outside of Shadow's jaws. As Sonic was crammed into the tight but expanding stomach, he reflected upon all the events that had occurred. He and Shadow had fought several times, encountered each other several times. Even with clear hatred, they had become more like rivals than enemies. They even had a casual conversation before the final showdown. It was a fair fight. Sonic and Shadow were evenly matched, but apparently, Shadow was better. Shadow slurped Sonic's feet into his maw with minimal effort, his tongue licking over his soles, causing Sonic's wiggling to increase. Shadow murmured as a result of the wriggling meal within him. After a moment he tried, and tilted his head back, and with a final gulp, claimed his victory over the world's hero. Sonic's feet quickly slid into the black hole of his throat, soon joining the rest of him in Shadow's tight gut. Shadow himself had fallen back. It had been quite some time since he had devoured such a large meal at once, and in one piece as well. He stroked a hand over his full stomach, practically purring. Soon the hedgehog would be all his, just as the world would soon be his master's. You put up a good fight, Faker. But as I said, there's only one ultimate life form. Shadow lay back, relaxing. With time near practically frozen around them, he could relax for a while. Sonic's squirms had stopped, but as he felt around, he realized Sonic was not dead. Sonic was apparently sleeping in his warm, slimy bedchamber. Shadow only chuckled. At least Sonic was able to admit defeat. He dozed off, his stomach soon emitting loud gurgles, as it worked to break down and absorb the hedgehog within. When Shadow awoke, he stood up. Time was still going slow, thank goodness. As he gripped the emerald on the ground nearby, he looked down. Though the bulge had shrunk, it was still massive. He gave his stomach another pat. He blushed as he let out a large burp. Shadow had forgot about those coming with large meals. He chuckled as he picked up Sonic's gloves, socks, and shoes. Looking over the edge of the highway, he promptly tossed them over and watched them fall to earth. "Sayonara, Sonic the Hedgehog," Shadow said, before grasping the jewel and heading back to the Ark's control room.